I feel inspired by the energy in the room. I visited some of the young people who were demonstrating their innovations. So thank you for inviting me to be part of this event. I was born a long, long time ago in a country far, far away in Iran. I grew up as a young child looking up at the night skies and really amazed with those shiny objects up there. I fell in love with the stars and I wanted to go to space, and that became my motivation, my reason for wanting to learn math and science. And that has been sort of a great savior for me in my life, because that desire to learn, that curiosity as a young child to learn has driven me to really be a life learner. And my education is what has given me all the opportunities that I was given. Growing up in Iran as a young kid, going around telling adults I wanted to go to space, I'm sure nobody believed me or nobody thought I would ever make it come true. And having been to fulfill that dream in 2006 was a great achievement, lifetime achievement for me, and a way for me to demonstrate to my family and to the world that when we put our mind to something impossible, somehow, you know, if we persevere and if we push through all the barriers and all the naysayers and all the reasons why we can't achieve something, we somehow have an amazing capacity to find a way. And especially young people have this amazing imagination and desire to go beyond what's possible. And being at the XPRIZE has given me the opportunity to tap into that energy and be able to bring it to fruition. I grew up during the time that was peaceful, and then when I was 12, a big revolution happened, and then a few years after that there was a war, an 8-year war between Iran and Iraq, and I lived through all of that. And as you can imagine, as a child growing up, my world around me was changing rapidly, but space gave me a refuge where I could go there. I would send my imagination there, and allowed me to find a peaceful place, some place I would go in my mind and take my family and everyone that I loved, and that gave me a pathway to find peace in my life. I was fortunate to be able to go to US to continue my studies. Didn't have any money, so I worked 3 jobs and put myself through school, and was able to find my first job after graduation in engineering. Studied electrical engineering and met my husband, and a few years later we left our jobs and started our first company. I think I was probably 28 years old, 29 years old when we started our company. And it was great because we were able to create and design things, build things. As an engineer, I loved building things. I loved solving problems, and I still do to this day. It's just the magnitude of it is changing. And entrepreneurship gave me a path to make my other dreams come true, which was going to space. It was through that success that I was able to take time off, go back to school, study astronomy, find a way to meet people who were active in space, and ended up becoming title sponsor of the first competition that created XPRIZE Foundation. And that was something that gave birth to a whole space industry in around the globe. Created SpaceX and Blue Origin and all these companies that came out of the changes that was brought about from competition. So we decided competition is a great way to get people's innovation juices going, get the crowd to solve problems. So we said, let's apply it to big challenges in the world. And that's how we ended up in Tanzania. One of our grand challenges was to find a way to get kids opportunity to learn how to read, write, and basic arithmetic, even if they don't have access to teachers. And that was the genesis of our global learning XPRIZE, which was funded by Elon Musk. And 5 years ago, we started this journey together with a lot of partners who are also partners here with World Food Program and the government and RTI and UNESCO. And Tanzania has been an amazing host country for us to make this happen, to bring a lot of people to the table. 600 people here on the ground made it happen, and we had 160 villages we were going to and serving, and 3,000 kids that were learning from these 5 different softwares, and I was thrilled because last trip I was here, I went to one of these villages. I went to many, but one of these villages I had an opportunity to talk to the children, and I was telling them about going to space, and they were looking at me, and it was hard for them to fathom what does it mean to go to space. I had to explain to them gravity, Earth, sun, and the adults were as fascinated as the kids. And this is what space has been for me. It's a way to bring people together. It has given me opportunity to see our world from up there and get inspired by the fact that we are human beings living on one home, one planet that belongs to all of us. It has erased any country and any boundary and anything that divides us. And it has given me an opportunity to travel the world and be part of the lives of amazing people, to be part of amazing projects like what we're doing here, and to be able to share my story, to tell young kids around the globe that, you know, if I could do it, a girl from a very small family, a family that had no basis in science, didn't have money, lived through a revolution, a war, and end up making my dream come true and go to space and be part of amazing movements that XPRIZE has created, then anything is possible. It just requires an active human mind, an active imagination, and perseverance. So thank you for allowing me to be here and be part of this journey with you.